Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations inspired by the White Card at GableStage. My name is Christie, and I have the pleasure of speaking today to Q Bryant, who is the lighting designer for the White Card. Um, Welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Hello, hi Katie. Thank you for having me. I love to be a part of this project. Thank you, Gable Stage, and thanks for the opportunity.
Excellent, excellent. So I just wanted to, get started with a little bit of, can you tell us briefly why you were inspired to be a lighting designer?
There was a couple of shows that I saw and also was involved in. At the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center in Miami, we did God's Trombone with my church, and I saw that and got inspired by that. Also, I saw one of your Voices United shows at the Joseph Caleb Auditorium.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think I probably was maybe in elementary school. And we had a whole lot of kids to come out there. I think it was about drugs and things of that nature. And it was just awesome to see people that looked like me, people that were my age, and that they were acting and singing and spreading a positive message. And I think the singing part really did a number on me. Um, I later on in life, going back to the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, met two or three people that was actually in your program, Voices United, and I actually dated one of them. And they had old videos of Voices United, so all of that kind of inspired me. Also, I had a mentor by the name of Artine Johnson, the late Artine Johnson, and he came out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I was sitting in one of his classes at the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center. I pretty much was like not supposed to be in his class, and I was just hanging out and acting up a little bit. And he noticed it, and he was like, "Ma'am, are you supposed to be in this class?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, if you're going to be in my class, you're going to have to learn something." I'm like, "All right." So he was in the middle of doing Color Girls, and I was like, okay, this seems interesting. And like I said, there was people my age that were acting, and he was like, well, I need somebody to kind of design the lights for me. And he was like, will you be willing to do that? I was like, I have no idea anything about that. I don't know what to do. And he was like, don't worry, I'll show you. He took me to the booth and he showed me the lighting, and I was like, well, all these lights do the same thing. They all turn on. And he was like, yeah, but you have to look at it in a way of, I have to paint a picture. And I was like, okay. And, when I was younger, I was pretty good at like painting and art and things of that nature. But I never knew that the two can be combined. And I was like, okay, I could see this. Uh, um, Little by little, he started showing me things that kind of made sense to me. And I was like, okay, you can leave now. I got this. And from there, I lit, kind of designed the lighting for that particular play. And at the end of the summer, we have like a summer program where we kind of display our talents to our friends and parents. And he wanted me to be a stage manager and also light design for all the shows and all the teachers that had ideas. And I was like, oh God. And so it just started from there, and it just kind of boomeranged. And I didn't even know that you could even have this as a career. And he pretty much kickstarted everything from then on.
That's great. That's great. It's so great to know. Also, like props to African cultural heritage cultural arts center and Caleb Center, for like being those places that connect with people like you. It's such a great thing to hear. Um,
Yeah, it
that's
was.
awesome.
Yeah, it really. I don't know. It was like full circle
Yeah.
because when my ex kind of showed me the videos, I was like, oh, that looks so familiar. Like I think I was there for that particular show. And he was like, yeah, I was in it. And I was like, what? And I was like, wait a minute, where does this come from? And so he just went into it. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, I knew, but when you're younger, you don't, those names don't kind of resonate with you. It's
Right.
always like the visual. And I was like, okay, I remember this. Oh, this is so amazing. And then I
Yeah.
noticed other people in the actual video that I know, like being older, I was like, oh, that's such and such. And this
Oh,
is such
that's
and such.
cool.
And I was like, oh, wow, like this, oh man, it comes full circle.
Right. It's amazing how much that it's like a small world here in Miami.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
so tell me then, what made you interested in working on the white card?
Interesting that you asked. There was a couple of shows that I saw at the GableStage, and I just thought the atmosphere was just so amazing. It's intimate, and it's like right in your face because you're like right there. And I know I saw a couple of plays, and the white card I never knew anything about, and I was like, okay, but let me find out, what white card is about. And I had a couple of friends that knew that I wanted to do more lighting design in Miami. And I think they were like, I think this would be the one that you're gonna really like. And I was like, okay, let me look at my schedule because I was, really busy. And I said, I read it and I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is great. Whatever I have to do, I'm gonna have to do to be a part of this. And I was like, okay. And I talked that to GableStage and one of my friends that works there, Christian, and she was like, "Are you able to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm able to do this. Like, I'm ready to be on board. Put me on board."
So what would you hope a theater's approach would be to a hostile work environment?
Let's just say during COVID, there was a lot of events that happened during COVID. A lot of people were able to be home. A lot of people were able to kind of see the world and not be caught up in the daily routines. And for me, it kind of happened that way. Um, Being in the theater entertainment business in Miami, there was a lot of plays and shows that was being catered to our audience. I wanted to see more things or plays or shows that looked like me. And pretty much um, people in the different areas of entertainment, administrative, um, production team wise, a lot of people started to look more like me. It made me more comfortable to be able to voice my concerns to my peers and people that were higher than me. And in the field of technical theater, there's a lot of faces that doesn't look like me. And I work in those environments. And I mean, there's a lot of my comrades that, say sexist things or would say racial things or would say, um, they will voice their opinions about whatever was going on in the world. And, I would try to bite it in a bud and just not get into it or cater to it because I felt like the more I would fight, the more there was pushback to, oh, you're being a woman and you're being sensitive and you know you don't know what you're talking about. Like you lucky you got in this field or you lucky somebody gave you a break. And because there were people and peers that were above me, I was able to like voice my concerns with them, and they were able to understand and also give me examples of when they were in a business and how they handled it. It just made me more comfortable to be able to speak to them and to be able to kind of get an understanding of how to turn those things around. And they made it really um, they made it really comfortable for me to be able to say what I need to say and not feel like I was the only one. And they did a really great job. They kind of had like a work job sensitivity meeting with all of us, and there was an email that went out, and I kind of felt like, oh God, here it is. Somebody's gonna say, oh, somebody put an email out because their feelings got hurt, type of thing. And I was like, oh God. But because I think I worked with them so much and so closely, and after they got that email, it just kind of subsided. And I think they kind of felt bad in a way that somebody would just actually voice their opinion and how they felt about the work environment, that they were willing to change and willing to like not say certain things or willing to not put women down and things of that nature. And I think they respected the fact that somebody actually said something about it. And people were like, if they heard one of their friends say, oh, well, you don't know how to pick that up. You're not strong enough. And they would say, no, don't say that to her. Like, or they would say, oh, don't worry about it. I'll help you. So more people would like help you rather than put you down. So the other coworkers would see that and be like, you know what? Yeah, that was really mean. Or women would take up and say, well, Q's the strongest one out of you guys. It was kind of like, combative back and forth, banter. And it just made things a little bit smoother and better.
Nice.
I mean, there's still a lot of things that still can make it a better way of handling things. But it's still got a way to go. But it's definitely got better from that incident.
That's great. So, I mean, you've named a couple of things, like number one, that, there's been a little bit of a shift and there's more people behind the stages, like in technical theater, who are looking like you, which is a nice shift and change. And then you had a pretty good experience where you felt comfortable to go to a superior. They really understood where you were coming from, responded by having a meeting, reaching out, and they were very responsive, and you feel like things shifted and changed in the work environment for the better. But
Yes.
You mentioned that there's still more work to do. Can you maybe name a few things that you would like to see?
I think I would like to see more workshops where everyone just kind of come in one place, and there's a mediator that says certain questions or asks certain questions that people will respond to. How would they react? How would they not react? How would they respond? I think we would probably need more of those. I mean, it's not going to change a lot, but at least it'll change some mindsets around to being able to try, and being able to like hold their opinions or not voice them so much when you're working with people of different cultures and different backgrounds. But I think, yeah, definitely more workshops, and definitely more people that look more like me, I think,
Right.
in the environment would kind of subside those things and have certain people that has opinions about us and how we do certain things to actually say, okay, that person can actually work. Whatever I saw, when I was, 20 years old, 30 years old, those things are not true, because this person is different. This person is, trying their best. This person is being able to do the same things I do. And I'm able to be their friend. I'm able to be, have a lot of similarities with each other. And yeah. Just able to understand.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really great point. So you're talking about, like, hopefully, like, as our theaters behind the stages become more and more, or in front of the stages, right? Like
Sure.
way out in front, become more and more inclusive, that
Yeah.
will shift people's ideas and understandings of different cultures, and will kind of like let go of some of the guards and preconceived ideas that they had growing up, or that's great. I mean, yes. I think that that's a really logical thing that will come, right? So the more
Yes.
our theaters are inclusive, we know there's potential good outcome just in that exposure and people working together and learning from each other and seeing like we're all great.
Right.
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 That's great. I love that point. Um, so let's see. What's so great about talking to you is like you have like you already know what I'm thinking. Like you've already answered so many of my questions about. So if if you if you were to see, what other positive changes would you want to see? So, like we talked about some things that aren't being done, but if you were just to get into a dreaming space, so we know we want to see more people of color, in technical theater, but what else would we want to see for people of color in theater, in technical theater?
I think more opportunities. Um, I feel like sometimes we get kind of pigeon-toed in a certain role, and I would love to see diversity in roles and diversity in hierarchy behind technical theater, not just running cable, not just um, throwing a person out there that's a maid or anything like that. I would love to see somebody being a president or somebody being a CEO of a company, and more playwrights, definitely more playwrights and more people that are willing to see different playwrights of different backgrounds and giving them that chance to put their work out there so that more people can kind of see the light, kind of see the insides and insight of how we live our lives. And I think the more that we can have playwrights and more creatives out there to put their work in front of more major audiences, then things will definitely look up and up.
That's great. Yeah, I love that. Right? There's. It's not just enough to put people of color on your stage as like the maid or in this role, or there's been too much of that. But like, yes, make them the president, make them the CEO, like that. That feels different. Thank you for that point. Um, so, last question. What do you hope audiences will learn from the white card?
Having that understanding, um, my friends would tell me, step out of your shoes and step in someone else's shoes. I would want the audience to walk away and say, yeah, I had those same ideas, but oh wow, that's from the outside looking in. I need to be looking, you know, inside out.
Yeah.
Kind of come away with like, oh, I need to check myself, and I need to, see where my friends and colleagues are coming from and actually be in their shoes. How would I react if I were a different culture and I walked in someone's house? Some cultures, they want you to take the shoes off at the door, or they want you to bow, things of that nature. And it's like, oh, well, I'm this type of person, and we always walk in the house with hats on and walk in the house with like shoes, and it's like sometimes you got to kind of conform yourself to new ways and new ideas and be okay with it, be comfortable, and just kind of being that person. Like, I never grew up like that, but it's different. And because it's different, I'm open to being different. I'm open to explore. I'm open to see your way of living. And I think with White Card, um, just seeing those different aspects of those two different families and two individuals is just so eye-opening, because you can kind of translate that to today. It's not like it happened 40 years ago or it happened 60 years ago. Like, this is something that's current, that's happening every day. And just being able to step in that person's shoes and being able to understand why they do the things that they do, why they feel the way that they feel, why do they have opinions about certain things and certain ways and certain situations. Because, being in that person's shoes, you understand a lot. and it tends to look at you in a way that may fix certain ways that you were brought up, or certain ways that you have certain opinions about current situations and certain point of views. It'll definitely change you for the better, and it'll kind of like give you that little key that's like, oh, okay, I didn't open it all the way, I kind of opened it halfway, but this is just so raw that I have to like almost completely knock the door down because I just want so much of it. And when you see the play, you definitely see those sides of that situation. You kind of like, okay, I knew somebody that was like that, and I know somebody that's kind of insensitive, but that's just the way it is. I'm gonna just voice my opinion, and that's either if you like it or not. And it definitely speaks to you and values like which one of those characters is me. And it put a spotlight, I should say. It puts the spotlight on you and shine a light. Definitely shines a light on ways that you can change or ways that you can make situations better.
Yeah, thank you. I love like your enthusiasm also about it, right? Like that there really are so many opportunities for people to see things anew, for different perspectives, to be able to see the opportunity that's there for themselves and want to like be curious to like, oh, I want to find out more. I love that. Those are really great things for people to take away from the play. Thank you so much.
No, thank you
for being here and talking with us. It's really just great to learn about your story and your history and your roots here in Miami and this arts community, this small arts community that we have. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the show.
Oh, yes, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Everyone, please come. This is a great play. It's a great opportunity to be in someone else's shoes and just being able to step out of the comfort zone. I mean, I think that's the whole thing about theater. It makes you think. It makes you come out of that way of thinking, a way of living, and hope to change you for the better. So I really, I'm excited about what this play can become and what it is. It's definitely, it's great. Not because I'm in it, but
Yes, because it just warrants that. So there you have it, right? This is your invitation to come and see the white card because it might make you a better person. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, GableStage.
Yes.
Thank you, White Card. Thank you. Oh, definitely open up my eyes to difference and how to handle those things. So, yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you all at GableStage for the white card.